Okay, the first thing we're going to do is create tints and shades. You're going to add white to your color to get a tint, and you're going to add black to get a shade. So we will fill out a sheet along with creating a color wheel. First thing you need to do, I gave you a piece of pie, a sheet like this. You need to divide it up into 5 sections. Now, if you choose to make it come along the edge and make it asymmetric, when you flip it, each time that you trace it, it's going to fit together like a puzzle like this. If you make it symmetric, it won't have that effect. You also have the option to allow yourself some negative space. This is one that has negative space that's been saved in it. So you have to have 5 sections. You're going to create 2 tints and 2 shades. Let me back up here so I can let you see. This is Aaliyah's. So this was her picture that she did. This is her 5 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then she took a Sharpie and she did it on the back side. Then she put it up against the window and she traced it. So she traced this with us underneath the back side by the window, and each time she did it, she flipped it. And then the next time she traced, she flipped it again. So you got to flip it each time in order to give it that effect. Now you may have to fudge your lines a little bit when it comes to making sure that they connect. Then, before you paint, I should have sent you a paper plate. If you got a paper plate, you can mix on a paper plate. Or if you got a piece of cardboard, you can mix on a piece of cardboard. I gave you this. You'll need to write all your colors around the outer edges of what your color wheel are. And they are listed on this paper here. But I would advise you to write on the outer edges. Don't cut this out yet. Leave it whole sheet till you're totally done. So you're going to write your colors around the edges. This is all your colors here. And you're going to do this sheet along with mixing your colors. So you're going to start out with, put a little bit of white and a little bit of black on your palette. And let's say this starts with a red. So you would, this says 2 parts white, 1 part white. Then your pure color is what's in the container. Then you're going to add just a smidge of black, and then you're going to add a little bit more black. So when I start out with white only. Then I put a teeny tiny bit of red in it. When you stir that up, it's going to be really light pink. So then that would be light pink. Then you would add a little bit more red to it. So that would be your next tint, 1 part. 1 part white because you added more color. Then your pure color. Then you're going to have your color, and you're going to add make your color on your palette, just the plain color, red, and then add a little black. It should be kind of burgundy, and then add a little bit more black. Now you still should see your color. It's going to be really dark, but you still should be able to see your color. So after you get this part done, before you paint, you'll need to do this all at the same time. I should have said that. You need to name it what I got it named on that list. T1, T2, S1, S2, and the pure color. Now I'm going to show you what looks good. If you put contrasting, you see this is a tint because it is light. So they put their shade here, their darkest shade here, their next darkest shade here. They put their tint and their second tint here. So putting a dark and a light side by side, you will need, after you get your picture done, before you start, I should have said that, I apologize. Write T1, T2, S1, S2, pure color. So you decide how you want, but whatever you name one, all of them has to be the same thing. So if this one is your S1, every one of them is going to be S1, so you'll go around and real lightly put S1. Now when you get to your yellow, I would be real light with writing my S and my T's, because yellow, you might have to erase it before you paint it because you don't want it to show back through. It might come back through. But you're going to keep a good contrast. You're going to take your time and paint each color, but you need to do this chart at the same time. You'll refer back and forth to this chart once you start painting. So as you go along, you're going to paint this one and make sure you wrote your colors on your color wheel. Mix one color at a time. Start with white. Add a little color, then add a little more color. Then use the pure color out of the container. Then put a little pure color on your palette. Put a tiny bit of black, and then a little bit more black. So if you need a test sheet, I would test it before I put it on this paper here and this paper here. If something would happen that you'd accidentally get out of line, allow it to dry and just cover the picture back over again after it dries, whatever color you need. And if you have any more questions, you'll have to just email me and I'll try to answer them for you.